The two most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why. 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things that you didn't do than by the ones you did do. Kindness is the language which the deaf can hear and the blind can see. Continuous improvement is better than delayed perfection. The secret of success is making your vocation your vacation. The fear of death follows from the fear of life. A man who lives fully is prepared to die at any time. Whenever you find yourself on the side of the majority, it's time to pause and reflect. It is better to keep your mouth closed and let people think you are a fool than to open it and remove all doubt. Do the right thing. It will gratify some people and astonish the rest. It is better to deserve honors and not have them than to have them and not deserve them. We will only regret two things on our deathbed: how little we loved and how little we traveled. If you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. Never allow someone to be your priority while allowing yourself to be their option. To succeed in life, you need two things: ignorance and confidence. Never argue with stupid people. They will drag you down to their level and then beat you with experience. Do something every day that you don't want to do. This is the golden rule for acquiring the habit of doing your duties without suffering. Never argue with a fool. Onlookers may not be able to tell the difference. The only truly effective weapon of the human race is laughter. Anger is an acid that can do more harm to the vessel in which it is stored than to anything on which it is poured. There are essentially two types of people: those who accomplish things and those who claim to have accomplished things. The first group is less crowded. Life is short. Break the rules. Forgive quickly, kiss slowly, truly love, laugh uncontrollably, and never regret anything that makes you smile. Avoid those who belittle your ambitions. Small minds will always do that, but the truly great make you feel that you too can become great. When I am king, they will have not only bread and shelter, but also teachings from books. For a full belly is of little value where the mind is hungry. In the beginning, I couldn't understand what I was created for, but now I've started to find the hidden aspects of this beautiful world, to be happy, to think about all these things and be grateful to the one who gave us. Fear is a very unpleasant thing. I wish I hadn't learned it. It gives me dark moments. It damages my happiness. It sends shivers and tremors through me. If I were to create a new God, I would endow him with certain qualities that the existing God lacks. He would not expect compliments, praise, or flattery from anyone, and he would be too proud to seek them by force. In this respect, he would be self-respecting. The human brain is so structured that it cannot create anything, whatever it may be. It can only use material obtained from outside. It is just a machine, and it works automatically, not by willpower. It has no command over itself, and its owner has no command over it. Every civilization carries within it the seeds of its own destruction, and they all go through the same cycle. A republic is born, flourishes, then turns into a power of the rich, and finally is taken over by the cobbler, who's made king by mercenaries and millionaires. People invent their own tyrants, and tyrants act in accordance with the purpose for which they were invented. There is nothing more rude than overly polite people. The high perfection of politeness consists of a beautiful and ostentatious structure. From its foundation to its ceiling, it is made with the elegant and ornate shapes of lies told in a loving and generous way. Good manners consist in hiding how well we think of ourselves and how badly we think of others. Saying, "Say only good things about the dead," is an emotional way of getting people to lie. Life is a matter of choice. If you think about the past, it is a fairy tale. If you think about the future, it is a story. If you think about today, it is reality. Give every day a chance to be the best day of your life. There is nothing that education cannot do. Nothing is beyond its influence. It can change bad morals into good. It can destroy bad principles and replace them with new ones. It can raise men to the level of angels. Duties are not performed for the sake of doing them. The reason is that their neglect would make one uncomfortable. Man fulfills only one duty, and that is the duty to fulfill his soul and reach a state of self-acceptance. The mind will not, as a rule, listen to either a dull or an intelligent speaker. It rejects all attempts at persuasion. The dull speaker depresses it and sends it into the realm of vain dreams. The intelligent speaker, on the other hand, is neglected even though he throws out enlightening ideas. The mind, in its pursuit of these ideas, forgets him and his speech. If that is what he wants, you cannot stop his mind from wandering. You are not the master, he is. Money is only a symbol. It is the visible, concrete form of a spiritual desire. Any so-called material thing that you want is only a symbol. You want it not for the thing itself, but because it will fulfill your soul at that moment. It's good to be blunt, but in the worst case you lose in the beginning what you can lose later. If you close a school, you have to build a prison instead, because what you gain in one place, you lose in another. It's like feeding a dog its own tail. It doesn't make the dog fat. Do you know what life is like? A third of it is good times, and the rest is remembering those good times. True love is the only disease that is allowed to continue. It is the only disease of the heart for which there is no cure, and for which no cure is sought. Every civilization carries the seeds of its own destruction, and they all go through the same cycle. A republic is born, flourishes, then turns into a power of the rich, and is finally taken over by the cobbler, who is made king by mercenaries and millionaires. People invent their own tyrants, and tyrants act in accordance with the purpose for which they were invented. If a person does not believe in what we believe in, we call them mad. In other words, we have to call them crazy because we can no longer burn those who believe differently. Adam was flesh and blood. That explains everything. He asked for the apple not to eat it, but because it was forbidden. The real mistake was not to forbid the snake, because then he would have wanted to eat the snake. The only certainty in the world is to be forgotten,